Ed, bienvenido a Radiónica. No sé si sabrás, pero nos llevamos más que en el corazón. Justo estaba recordando que Jamie, el guitarrista de Bombay, habló con nosotros hace unos 10 años, en el 2014, y la verdad es que por ahí quiero empezar. En retrospectiva, ¿cómo ves el proceso que ha tenido que encarar la banda para llegar al sonido de este nuevo álbum? Porque hubo, lo sabemos todos, un parate de más o menos 5 años en el que se separaron, en el que cada uno, supongo, creó a partir de su experiencia un nuevo sonido. ¿Eso cómo se ve representado en las nuevas canciones, Ed?
I mean, that's a big and interesting question, actually. Yeah, you said 10 years, and I kind of thought back on that, and I was like, oh, we're probably in full swing of doing the band then, but actually it's almost 10 years ago that we put out our fourth album, So Long See You Tomorrow, and then we toured the world pretty much. You know, we toured. I don't think we made it down to you guys on that record, annoyingly. But we went around Europe and the UK and America a fair amount, and had a great time. But that made everyone really, really tired out. You know, we were away for about 9 months of the year. So after that, and this is about 9 years ago, we stopped because everyone else wanted to experience life. You know, they wanted to start families or go to university or just have our own musical projects, and everyone went off and did those things, including me. I went and I started a band called Toothless, and I built the studio that I'm sitting in now, and I kind of developed my playing and my songwriting outside of Bombay Bicycle Club, which I always wanted to do. But when you're in a band, and when you're in a band for such a long time, you kind of just become part of a machine. And even though that's good and it's a pleasant place to be, it doesn't really push yourself outside of that, and that's what I needed to do. So I went away and made a record and released that, and Jack, our singer, also made his own record under Mr. Jukes and did that, while the other two were kind of just going and studying and going to school. And I think it kind of, we all became better people. It developed our lives in a way that we couldn't in the band, because all we had with the band was doing that one thing all the time, and that was great. But it also made us realize how good it was with the band and how much we missed it and missed each other. So after about 4 years, we were like, actually, let's do this again, and kind of came back with these newfound experiences and newfound enjoyment of the band. Because to be honest, I think if we kept on doing it in 2014, when we needed to take a break, we wouldn't be doing the band anymore. I think we would have fallen out because it was too intense, and made a record doing that. And I mean, I can talk about my role in that. Is, you know, I was more involved in the songwriting from what I'd learned. Well, it's because I basically spent those 4 years learning to write songs without anyone else in the band, whereas before I was just playing the bass, really. So that's kind of what I brought to the band when I came back to it, you know, having a new input and being able to do other things, you know, like write lyrics or produce music. That was, you know, everyone brought something new from that time away.
Increíble todo lo que ha pasado en este tiempo. Y ahora que hablamos del proceso, quería preguntarte, el último álbum salió después de la parada de la banda, y este último álbum sale 3 años después de ese proceso, y en medio de ello estuvo la pandemia, todos lo sabemos. Este proceso que vivimos, pues globalmente, inspiró o por lo menos generó ideas alrededor para la creación de este nuevo álbum.
Yeah, when that happened, it was very very upsetting for everyone, because we'd spent so long on the album beforehand. After our break, we got to do one tour, and then everything went away. And at the beginning, I don't think anyone would do band anymore, because, you know, it was such a letdown. And then over that first year of lockdown, we were kind of like talking, and then 1 or 2 songs came up and were written in that time. We were like, okay, actually now it's time to get going again after that initial heartbreak. And we started writing it basically throughout coronavirus. and it was finished off this year when everything had calmed down. But it was mainly done when we were all, globally struggling through coronavirus. And I think the main thing that it was imparted by that from the lockdown was a kind of sense of joy and funness, wanting to do something a bit different, wanting to push the boat out, because we were like, oh, it can all go away, and might as well have some fun with it, might as well do something really unexpected. And I think we've made an album that is very unexpected and quite weird because of that. Probably I think we might have been a bit safer if we'd done it in a normal way.
Bombay no ha tenido muchas colaboraciones a lo largo de su carrera, pero en My Big Day, el nuevo álbum, incluye 5 vocalistas, incluyendo al grandísimo Damon Albarn, que seguramente también para ustedes fue en algún punto inspiración. ¿Cómo fue el proceso de co-creación con ellos? Porque me preguntaba si tienen una canción y dicen, ok, me gustaría llamarlo para que haga parte de este proceso, o si antes de crearla o que esté finalizada lo hacen parte de ese proceso, digamos, para que tenga más sonido a esa persona que están invitando.
It's normally more the second option of those. We normally have the song written, and then there'll be something that is missing that we can't do ourselves, and we'll kind of in the feature, like with the song Diving that came out a few months ago. We got Holly Humberstone to sing on that, and it's written pretty much as it is now, but it wasn't finished and it needed something else to it. And we thought what it needed was kind of this high, breathy female vocal that obviously none of us could do. So, we got in touch with her, and her vocal on it made it kind of a finished thing. So that was one example of it. And then I guess the other kind of side is when it's a bit more creative. We'll write half a song and we won't be able to finish it ourselves, and we'll kind of feel a bit stuck, and we'll get another songwriter in who'll come in and give us loads of kind of new, fresh ideas, and from there we'll be able to finish it kind of together with this person. Like Jason, who sings on Sleepless, she wrote most of her parts in that, so that was a more collaborative process in terms of writing, but the song was normally there from the beginning.
En el álbum anterior, en Everything Else Has Gone Wrong, uno podría escuchar muchas sonoridades. Uno ya en Get Up, que es la canción que abre el álbum, siente las influencias del jazz. Después hay sonidos más cercanos, diría yo, al New Wave. Por eso quería preguntarte qué sonoridades inspiraron este nuevo álbum y este nuevo proceso de creación.
I think, well, as you say, we try a lot of different kinds of music, and it's normally the kind of music we're listening to at the time, with the last one. And I mean, I guess all the time we're listening to jazz and new wave and things like that. So yeah, that was a good observation. With this one, I don't know, there's a lot of heavier songs. There's a lot of songs that are kind of almost Queens of the Stone Age-y, kind of desert rocky, that we haven't done before. A song called Meditate, which that's the case in. So yeah, we kind of go heavier, and then in another way we also go kind of lighter and more epic. There's a song, the one with Damon Albarn on it, where we have an orchestra, and we've never done that before. And I think maybe subconsciously that was from Jack doing this kind of opera piece with him in France, where they had a bunch of musicians all coming together, and it was very, it was in a theatre and very operatic. So that's another thing. And I mean, actually, a lot of the influences we've got on the album are people, a lot of the features were people we were listening to, like Nula Fiyanya, who sings on Meditate. We listened to her music a lot and really dug that, so it kind of became part of the sound, but we also got her to feature on it. So maybe including these features is almost like kind of mirroring the kind of music we're listening to.
Sabes que es un placer tenerte aquí en Radiónica, agradeciendo tu tiempo, y para cerrar esta entrevista quiero preguntarte por el proceso de creación con Jack, que es el vocalista, y sé que él compone la mayoría de las canciones, pero quería saber cómo es el proceso cuando se las lleva a la banda, ¿sabes? Si las manda en una nota de voz con la melodía y ustedes van construyendo, tú en tu caso, construyendo las líneas de bajo encima, o ustedes componen la música y él ya trae las letras? ¿Cómo es ese proceso dentro de la banda y ese proceso de co-creación entre todos ustedes?
It's so the songs normally start with a demo that Jack makes. He's got his own studio, kind of like mine, here, and he'll write a demo, and that can either be a whole song, and he's done ones that are whole songs that are just finished with everything there, or it can be like a riff with like a drum beat underneath, and then when he's taken the song as far as he can, he'll send it to us. And if it's a whole song that's finished, we're like, okay, this is great, let's just use this. And if it's a riff, there's kind of a couple different ways we can do it. Normally, and now everyone has their own recording capabilities, we kind of pass ideas backwards and forwards. So he'd send me the song and send me the stems, and I'd be here and I would play. And it's never really the bass, it's more all-encompassing than that. I would just write the part of the song that I want to hear. So if I want to hear a vocal or a keys part or a guitar, I would put that on and I'd send it back to him, and I'd send it back to the whole band, and we'd have a discussion about that. Or we would all get in the room, you know, over lockdown, we were all getting together here, and we'd play the idea together and see if we can work it out. And then that'll go on for a while until there's a song there that we're happy with, and then we'll go into a proper studio all together and record the song. But even doing that means that we kind of change it quite a lot towards the end. We'll get into a proper studio, and then we'll start playing it, and everyone will have a new idea, or Jack will have a new idea for a verse or something. So you kind of, it takes like a year or so to really finish a song. It's done bit by bit these days, because, you know, everyone has the capability to record as they go along. You know, you can just add things consistently and take them away, and just kind of, it's like moving paint around the canvas kind of thing.